You're watching Euronews now. I'm Takumba Salako with your top stories. Another political crisis looms in Italy as Prime Minister Mario Draghi resigns over cracks in the coalition, but his offer to step down is rejected. Ukraine again accuses Russia of deliberately targeting civilians as missiles strike Mykolaiv universities a day after a shopping center was hit. And as Europe braces for record-breaking temperatures, our correspondents will tell us how some countries are preparing exceptional measures.
Mario Draghi's government remains on standby. After offering to step down, President Mattarella refused to accept his resignation. The Italian Prime Minister will have to seek support for a motion of confidence on July 20th. This comes as Draghi survived a vote of confidence in the Senate on Thursday as a new decree on anti-crisis measures was approved. But former Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte's five-star movement, a key member of the National Unity Government, refused to support the decree. But the former head of the European Central Bank has insisted repeatedly that the government cannot continue without their support. The parties that continue to support Draghi consider Five Star's move a mistake.
These are unpredictable, unimaginable consequences provoked by irresponsible choices of a political party which is only damaging the Italian people.
Prime Minister Mario Draghi's government rules well. It is good that the government remains.
The far right say Draghi should step down.
Italy is in a storm, in a delicate economic and social situation. With war and high energy costs, inflation, we cannot have an immovable government.
Draghi's broad coalition government, which includes parties of the right, the left and the centre, was designed to help Italy recover from the coronavirus pandemic. However, as the war in Ukraine approaches the 5-month mark and as the economic crisis worsens, Italy may once again be left ungoverned.
The next few days will be crucial to understand whether or not political parties will be able to stay united. That's at least until next Wednesday, when Mario Draghi is expected to brief Parliament and the government will be put through a confidence vote as requested by President Mattarella when he rejected Mario Draghi's decision to resign. But we also know that Mario Draghi was very clear when he said that the government is not, he feels that the government is not united as it used to be, and clearly it's pointless to continue leading the current coalition. The next few days will be crucial to understand also whether instead of Mario Draghi, President Mattarella will be forced to appoint a new prime minister who's going to lead the country and the government until the next general election, which clearly could take place earlier than expected, as early as next autumn. Giorgio Orlandi for Euronews in Rome.
Ukraine is once again reeling after Russian missiles decimated the central city of Vinnytsia. At least 23 people were killed after offices, a medical centre and residential blocks were left for ruin. President Vladimir Zelensky has accused Moscow of deliberately targeting civilians in areas without a military presence.
This day proved once again that Russia should be officially recognised as a terrorist state. No other country in the world poses such a terrorist threat as Russia does. No other state in the world allows itself to destroy peaceful cities and ordinary human life with cruise missiles and artillery every day.
The EU's Foreign Affairs chief also condemned the attack, calling it a war crime. While Vinnytsia's regional governor says Ukrainian forces downed 2 of the 4 incoming missiles launched from the Black Sea, 36 apartment buildings were destroyed. The National Police says only 6 bodies have been identified so far, while dozens of people are still missing. Russia has denied targeting civilians.
The Russian naval blockade against the Ukrainian Black Sea ports has led to logistical chaos in western Ukraine. Some 2,000 Ukrainian truck drivers are stuck around Reni, a small harbour on the riverbanks of the Danube, the border river shared by Ukraine and Romania.
First of all, I think the guilty country is the aggressor, Russia. If it were not for Russia, there wouldn't have been any problems and we could have unloaded. Everything would have been all right and everyone would have had enough supplies.
Rainy is one of the few remaining Ukrainian ports still working, but due to outdated equipment and the overwhelming quantity of cereals arriving to be shipped by barge, it's struggling to cope. The Romanian harbour of Constanța could be part of the solution. With the backing of the European Union, Romania, Ukraine and also Moldova are upgrading alternative export routes for Ukraine's 20 million tons of last year's cereal stocks, while more is coming in from this year's harvest.
Each day starts with a challenge. We continue to unblock Ukrainian cereals. Every day we unload thousands of tons of cereals. That's not an easy situation. It's hard work.
In the Romanian cereal harbours, the railway infrastructure has been modernized. In Galați, the works have been completed, but in Constanța it will take until the end of the year.
It's a race against time. We need to change over 13 kilometers of railway tracks and 75 turnout tracks.
Putin's war on Ukraine is blocking the export of cereals. Here at the Black Sea, cargo ships are queuing up as far as the eye can see. Romania is helping to get grains for the world out of Ukraine, but is there enough time left for shipping the cereals before famine kicks in around the world? Euronews witness the full 10 minutes report from Romania and Ukraine this week on air and online at Euronews and euronews.com.
The Spanish government has approved a new law on democratic memory that seeks to deal with crimes committed under the Franco dictatorship. It's now a state responsibility to search for the remains of those who disappeared under Franco's rule. Over 100,000 people are still unaccounted for.
Of course, the state recognizes that from the implementation of this law, the remains of the victims of the civil war must be recovered. Who is capable of denying the victims the right to recover the remains of their loved ones? That is what the law establishes.
The main opposition party did not directly oppose the recognition of victims, but criticized the support of Basque Country MPs who refused to condemn the murders of ETA terrorists.
You cannot allow the leading figures of terrorism to legislate and worse still to write the history of their victims. It is totally indecent.
Socialist Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has made addressing Spain's Francoist past a big priority. But the extreme right voted against the law because they believe it divides Spaniards.
An Iranian citizen has been sentenced to life in prison by the Stockholm District Court for allegedly committing war crimes during the final phase of the 8-year Iran-Iraq war. The court said 61-year-old Hamid Nouri participated in the executions of many political prisoners in Iran in the summer of 1988. A life sentence in Sweden generally lasts 20 to 25 years, but it could be extended. Lebanon has been hit by a bread crisis. Flour shortages in the cash-strapped country have forced many residents to form long queues outside bakeries as the government struggles to import wheat and keep up subsidiaries. Meanwhile, fermenting stocks in Beirut's badly damaged silos caught fire last week due to rising summer temperatures. The economy minister says extinguishing the flames might cause the silos to collapse.
Lots more news and analysis to come. Stay with us. We'll be back in a few moments.